Hey guys, that's Shepti back with today's video. So today I'm going to be doing a video on the best type of beta filter. So in this video I'm going to be answering many questions that some of you new beta owners may have. Like what's the best filter, what filter cleans the most, which filter is even safe for my beta, or do I even need a filter? So let's get started. So first of all, to answer the question, do you need a filter? It's not essential for the beta to live, but it does make life a lot easier. So I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to get that out of the way right away. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about first the four main types of filters. There's canister filters, which I'm not going to get into in this video because betas do not need canister filters. That would be really expensive for, especially even if this is just a 15-gallon tank. They do sell canister filters for 15-gallon tanks, but again, that's a little bit overkill, and I'm pretty sure most beta owners wouldn't be getting canister filters. So now that we've got that out of the way, we're going to talk about the next type of filters, which are hang-on-the-back filters, which I have one right here. So we're going to talk about the pros first of all. The pros is it filters really well. Basically how it filters, it has a tube, it sucks up from the tube, goes in, and then this one, there is 3 baskets. The bottom one's a sponge, it catches particles. The second one's a charcoal bag, it deodorizes the water. And the third is beneficial bacteria, which is essential for the cycle. So the pros, again, filters very well. It creates a lot of surface agitation. As you can see, the surface is clearly moving. And if you don't have enough surface agitation, sometimes a film will build over, which isn't good because then when your betas come up for air, they'll be sucking in that film, which is an oily film. So that's why you need a lot of surface agitation. And also it aerates. So as you can see, there's bubbles coming up, so it aerates the water. Now the cons of this filter, of hang-on back, the whole genre of hang-on backs, they could be pretty costly. Cons is that they have medium maintenance, and I say that because some of these on this list have really low maintenance. A con of this one would be medium maintenance, which that can be taken either way. If you have a lot of time, then it's not a con, but for some people it will be a con. Another con is if your filter doesn't have a flow control, which a couple of them don't. A couple of them on the market don't have a flow control. It will actually could stress your beta and could even kill it, because if I put this to the max flow, okay, it's just a lot for the betas to handle. This beta is trying to swim away from it, so I keep it a little bit less than half. That's where they both seem to be okay with it, and it seems to filter the water really good. So that could be another con if it doesn't have a flow control. So the next type of filter we're going to talk about, this brings us to our third, because we had the canister filter, hang-on back filter, and now we're going to talk about sponge filters. Now I don't have a sponge filter, but I'll insert pictures all here. So the pros of sponge filters are they're inexpensive, they can be really cheap, they're low maintenance. To clean them, all you do is just rinse them out. Another pro would be they're really good for weak or sick betas because they do not create much current. They don't create current at all. They don't create a current. And then another really good thing is they aerate the water. Now what are some cons of sponge filters? Cons, low surface agitation. It depends on your pump because you have to get an air pump for these sponge filters, but just a little bit of air coming up in one corner is not going to agitate the water as much as, let's say, a waterfall of water. So that's a con, that there may be low surface agitation. And a sponge filter just cannot filter as well as a hang-on back filter. It's pretty much a given. Hang-on back has a motor, it has tubes, it has 3 media baskets. The sponge filter is just a sponge, and it sucks in stuff with the air. So that's a sponge filter. Next thing we're going to talk about is underwater filters. Now I have a couple underwater filters. I know this one technically isn't underwater, but we're still going to count it as that because it's not hang on the back, and it's not a sponge filter, and it's not a canister filter. So, but usually it would be like this. But yeah. Okay. So, pros about these is it filters well, and it can be inexpensive too. Like this, I picked it up for $10. But as you can see, I'm not using the whole charcoal, carbon, and everything. Because this, I just use a sponge, but we're not going to count that in this. Let's just to say, if you were to go out and just buy the inserts, then you'll be perfectly fine. It would filter just as well as one of these. Really, the only con I have with this is that it takes up water swimming space. So this one's not that bad, but some of them are pretty big in the corner. And that would take up a lot of space, especially if it's a smaller tank. And yeah, this one is hanging on the back, so everything's outside. or if you have a sponge filter, again, that does take up space, but it's a sponge and they're usually pretty small. But in this case, this one's not that bad, but in other cases, it could be very bad. And I forgot another pro for this one. It's quiet, because if you put it, you can hear this one. That's the one that you're hearing right now. But a pro for this one is you can't hear it. See, I just put the mic right next to it, and you probably didn't hear much. You probably heard this one. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you did find this video helpful, make sure to comment it in the comments. I love to know if I'm being helpful in any way. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you're wondering, in this tank I have a male beta right here. That's my male beta. And then on this side, it's a divided tank. I have a female beta. It's not focusing, but it's a female beta. And then since this one's not aggressive, I have 2 loaches in here. You can see one of them, but they sleep all day and then they're awake at night. And then I have 1 Cory, which is all the way in the back. Okay, no, and then I have 1 Cory, which is not focusing, but you can see that like orange blob right there because it's not focusing. I don't know why it's not focusing. This is horrible. Maybe it's my lighting. Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah, you still cannot see. It's like, it's right there. It's that. Anyways, so yeah, bye.